Hello and welcome to a new HiCAD short clip. In this video, I would like to show you the new features in modeling. When working with dependent parts from assemblies, the previous option track geometrical position of subparts has been extended. In addition to the familiar options, do not track and track if position matches, there is now a new setting, track, no manual change possible. This ensures that the subparts remain in their position and are reset if required when a manual change is attempted. Previously, it was also possible to change the part structure of dependent assemblies. These changes are now generally prevented. A highlight in this service pack is the revised beam lengthening function. With the new interface, which is designed similarly to the lengthen sheet function, you have all the editing options in one place. Importantly, you can now change multiple beams at the same time, regardless of the type and endpoint of the beam. In addition, the pipette symbol can be used to pick the total length of another beam and apply it to other beams. Another highlight concerns the standard processings. Here, it is now possible to create countersinks as blind holes. This expands the options for creating stepped bores more easily. There is also an adjustable countersink as edge processing for bores and countersinks. Two pipette symbols are new in the dialog. One allows you to transfer bore data, the other allows you to transfer the grid. Furthermore, the insertion point is now displayed in a grid, like what you are familiar with when working with sketches. As in other functions, you can now select omissions in the grid so that these bores are not created. The list can be inverted using a checkbox. Favorites management and other minor improvements are also part of this update. The manufacturability check for sheet metal parts has also been extended. It now checks flanges for minimum length, bores for minimum diameter, the distance between processings and the minimum bend radius. In addition, an automatic function can be set to determine when the tests are to be carried out. Some checks can now also be applied to steel engineering plates. In the bolting dialog, a minimum anchorage depth and a maximum thickness of the filler plates can now be set for the insertion of anchors. This solves previous problems such as incorrect selection of the anchor or collisions with cap nuts. Accordingly, the correct length from the catalog is now used and improved placement of the anchors during insertion is ensured. There is a new column in the attribute management for describing attributes in the configuration. You can also create a description there directly in multiple languages. This description is then displayed in the text editor, for example. Furthermore, the reference settings for attributes have been integrated into the attribute management. Previously, there was a separate location for this, but now the familiar options can be found in a new column directly in the attributes management. That's it for this HiCAD short clip. I hope you enjoyed it and wish you lots of fun designing.